"Master Mandragoran," a woman said, leaning on the table, "you were pointed out to me as a merchant with a wide correspondence by pigeon." He noticed her jewelry first, of course, a matter of habit. The slim golden belt and long necklace were set with very good rubies, as was one of her bracelets, along with some pale green and blue stones he did not recognize and so dismissed as worthless. The golden bracelet on her left wrist, an odd affair linked to 4 finger rings by flat chains, and the whole, intricately engraved, held no stones, but her remaining 2 bracelets were set with fine sapphires and more of the green stones. 2 of the rings on her right hand held those green stones, but the other 2 held particularly fine sapphires. Particularly fine. Then he realized she wore a 5th ring on that hand, stuck against one of the rings with a worthless stone. A golden serpent biting its own tail. His eyes jerked to her face, and he suffered his second shock. Her face, framed by the hood of her cloak, was very young, but she wore the ring, and few were foolish enough to do that without the right. He had seen young Aes Sedai before, 2 or 3 times. No, her age did not shock him. But on her forehead she wore the Kassain, the red dot of a married woman. She did not look Malkieri. She did not sound Malkieri. Many younger folk had the accents of Saldeia or Kandor, Arafel or Shinar. He himself sounded of Saldeia, but she did not sound a Borderlander at all. Besides, he could not recall the last time he had heard of a Malkieri girl going to the White Tower. The tower had failed Malkier in need, and the Malkieri had turned their backs on the tower. Still, he stood hurriedly. With Aes Sedai, courtesy was always wise. Her dark eyes held heat. Yes, courtesy was wise. "How may I help you, Aes Sedai? You wish me to send a message for you via my pigeons? It will be my pleasure." It was also wise to grant Aes Sedai any favors they asked, and a pigeon was a small favor. "A message to each merchant you correspond with. Tarmon Gai'don is coming soon." He shrugged uneasily. "That has nothing to do with me, Aes Sedai. I am a merchant." She was asking for a good many pigeons. He corresponded with merchants as far away as Shinar. "But I will send your message." He would, too, however many birds it required. Only stone-blind idiots failed to keep promises to Aes Sedai, besides which he wanted rid of her and her talk of the last battle. "Do you recognize this?" she said, fishing a leather cord from the neck of her dress. His breath caught, and he stretched out a hand, brushed a finger across the heavy gold signet ring on the cord, across the crane in flight. How had she come by this? Under the light, how? "I recognize it," he told her, his voice suddenly hoarse. "My name is Nynaeve Tialmira Mandragoran. The message I want sent is this. My husband rides from World's End toward Tarwin's Gap, toward Tarmon Gai'don. Will he ride alone?" He trembled. He did not know whether he was laughing or crying, perhaps both. She was his wife? "I will send your message, my lady, but it has nothing to do with me. I am a merchant. Malkier is dead. Dead, I tell you." The heat in her eyes seemed to intensify, and she gripped her long, thick braid with one hand. "Lan told me once that Malkier lives so long as one man wears the Hadori in pledge that he will fight the Shadow, so long as one woman wears the Kassain in pledge that she will send her sons to fight the Shadow. I wear the Kassain, Master Mandragoran. My husband wears the Hadori. So do you. Will Lan Mandragoran ride to the last battle alone?" He was laughing, shaking with it, and yet he could feel tears rolling down his cheeks. It was madness, complete madness, but he could not help himself. "He will not, my lady. I cannot stand surety for anyone else, but I swear to you under the light and by my hope of rebirth and salvation, he will not ride alone." For a moment she studied his face, then nodded once firmly and turned away. He flung out a hand after her. "May I offer you wine, my lady? My wife will want to meet you." Alida was Saldean, but she definitely would want to meet the wife of the uncrowned king. "Thank you, Master Mandragoran, but I have several more towns to visit today, and I must be back in Tyr tonight." He blinked at her back as she glided toward the door, gathering her cloak. She had several more towns to visit today, and she had to be back in Tyr tonight? Truly, Aes Sedai were capable of marvels. Silence hung in the common room. They had not been keeping their voices low, and even the girl with the dulcimer had ceased playing her hammers. Everyone was staring at him. Most of the Outlanders had their mouths hanging open. "Well, Mannigan, Goranellan," he demanded, "do you still remember who you are? Do you remember your blood? Who rides with me for Tarwin's Gap?" For a moment he thought neither man would speak, but then Goranellan was on his feet, tears glistening his eyes. "The golden crane flies for Tarmon Gai'don."
Hello, everybody. Game Killer Daddy here, and welcome to my new mini-series of The Wheel of Time. What I'll be doing is taking some of my favorite parts, and hopefully some of you guys' favorite parts too, special events or parts from the book that really stuck out in my mind or that I just loved, that I can't wait to get to when I start reading them, and making little clips and putting it out there for you guys of those specific parts throughout the whole Wheel of Time series. The book was written by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson. I'll be taking clips from the audiobooks read by Michael Kramer and Kate Redding. They do an excellent job. If you've never listened to the audiobooks and you're a Wheel of Time fan, you should definitely give it a go, give it a listen. They have different voices for everybody. You know which character is talking, you know what's going on, who's saying what. You're not lost. Who's that? Or, who said that? You know each character. They do an excellent job. I have nothing to do whatsoever with the Wheel of Time or the embodiment of the Wheel of Time or any entity having anything to do with the Wheel of Time. I'm doing this because, well, for two reasons. One, that I really love the Wheel of Time series, and I need to hopefully get more subscribers since YouTube changed their policy. But I hope all of y'all like this as well. If there's anybody out there that likes to draw Wheel of Time stuff, I'll leave an email down in the description that you can send it to. Just put in the subject, what it's about or which character it is: Lan, Nynaeve, Rand, Cadswain, anything. That way, if I'm doing a special clip on, a certain character, I can go and quickly find any artwork you guys send for that character or event. And if there's a special part from any of the books that you guys would like me to get to first or like me to do, please leave a comment down below. Let me know. I'll be happy to do it. I may even say, hey, this is for so-and-so. So please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. If you like the videos or audio video clips, give it a thumbs up and hit that little bell so you'll be alerted the next time I put out one of these or anything else put out by the Game Killers. And thank you for all your support.